So, hello, and basically what I've done here is I've created my version of the 21st century teen. So let's talk a little bit about literacy and how important it is to the 21st century teen. So I'm going to take my drawing of this, explain kind of what I see from this, and then go from there. So let's start here. Taking a look at his Toronto Maple Leafs hat. So this student is super into sports, and sports has stats. Stats is part of your mathematical literacy. So there's your first reason why this student needs some mathematical literacy. He is receiving and sending texts. This requires literacy skills and, as we all know, a little bit of shorthand. Because all students like to use that. Here he has a Kindle in his bag, where he is reading any number of books. Finally, he has, not totally finally, he has an iPad. On his iPad, he plays things like Angry Birds, which teaches about angles. He surfs the net, which requires him to read. He plays games like Cut the Rope, Bejeweled, and others, which promote problem solving. Here's his computer. With his computer, he does his homework. He surfs the net. Again, literacy. I'm going to pull this up here. He plays video games online that involve teamwork, where he needs to present ideas or plans of action, which involve communication. Let's take a look a little bit further down. You can see the bulge in his back pocket, which is his wallet. He has some money, which he needs to learn to manage. Right here, and it might not be totally clear, but this is a McDonald's lanyard. This is his part-time job. On this job, he needs to be able to read. Whether that's read menus, instruction manuals, emails, etc. Next, we'll take a look finally at his shoes, his Nike shoes, which he researched with his computer. Because God knows he needed to have the most popular brand. His Nike shoes, he needs literacy to research the best brand. He also needs to learn to be a smart consumer through financial literacy. Finally, we can see the need for digital literacy, as on his person he has a phone, he has an iPad, he has a computer, and he has a Kindle that are with him at all times. Last but not least, we also see the classic thing that drives teachers insane: music, which he probably plays during class. And if you've listened to any of the popular music, the lyrics happen quite fast. He needs to rapidly listen to them. And he may even be inspired to create his own music. Writing lyrics requires literacy. So in today's 21st century teen, as you can see, literacy is everywhere. It's a part of his every being. He's doing a ton of stuff that requires literacy skills, whether that's digital, financial, reading, writing, and oral, all different types of literacy. And it is our job as educators to make sure that he's prepared to not only continue living his life, but continue being successful, which again requires literacy skills. Literacy can be embedded into any classroom at any subject, and it's really easy to see how we can use some of these devices and some of these motivators, especially your sports and maybe even your consumer products, to get kids to kind of look at literacy a different way. So I hope that this exercise showed you the importance of literacy to the 21st century teen and to teens today. It's really important that we include literacy in our classrooms in all forms, because teens are being exposed to so many different types of literacy these days, and I think even arguably more so than previous generations. It's really important that we include language literacy in our classrooms so that students have continuing success with communication and critical thinking. It's also really important that we do that in conjunction with digital literacy, because most of the language literacy that kids are getting are through digital devices. And kids also need to learn to navigate the digital world and be prepared for their future careers, because let's face it, we live in a technological world, and it's really important that kids learn to be prepared for that type of future career that has that many digital interactions. It's also really important that we have
financial literacy in our classrooms so that students start to understand their personal finances, as well as, how to be responsible consumers, how they play a part in the larger economy, and how, they understand that transactions that we make online or physically or otherwise play a part not only on the personal wallet but also on the larger economy. Check out my blog for some strategies on how to incorporate all different kinds of literacy into your HSB class.